All right, right now I am in Gettysburg at the Gettysburg Museum of History, and we've been filming some content in here. And you've seen some of the unboxing videos that we have done here at the museum. Well, look at here. The mail truck just arrived here at the Gettysburg Museum of History and brought in a whole bunch of boxes. So we're gonna jump in here and just see what rolled in today.
When I'm in the museum, I get to talking to people and, talking about the YouTube channel, and I hear it over and over again that people love the unboxing videos. For whatever reason, maybe it's the excitement of what may be in here. I'm not sure, and so much stuff comes in here all the time. It's just amazing, and I also think it gives a good way of illustrating, in this particular instance, the difference between the museum and our military antiques business. So we have items in the museum that we purchase or are donated to the museum, and those items stay here forever. We don't resell those items. A lot of times people say, oh, museums sell their donated items. We do not. It's in our museum charter not to. So we're going to show some items that we were told about, and they're really interesting, and it's from a friend of the museum whose grandfather was in World War II. I know because I saw the return address on here, but I don't know exactly what's in here. He just kind of told me about it. And then we're going to show you some items that are for resale, some items we actually purchased here at the museum to resell on our website. So we want to try to be as clear as possible about what we sell and what we don't sell, and the ethics of what we're doing here. So we're going to do an unboxing due to popular demand. So I'm going to bring out my trusty Fallschirmjäger knife, which I highly recommend for unboxings because they're super sharp. And we're going to cut into this first box, which is something for the museum. It's actually an item that we're going to put in here, and it was sent to us by a friend of the museum for display, not resale. There's a ton of bubble wrap. Thank God looks like there's not the little styrofoam things in that I hate. Oh, so right on the top here, this looks like this is going to be the guy, and hopefully he'll send me a digital copy of this too so we can print it out better. This is a sailor, and he was on the U.S. What's it say there? I can't read upside down.
USS Charles Osborne, Claxton, Dyson, Spence. Yeah. Oh, no.
That doesn't sound quite right, but...
No.
Well, you tackle that, JD, while I move some of this cracking material out.
Okay. So while Eric is tackling this, again, we're doing all of this in real time here.
Yeah.
This is a Presidential Unit Citation for Destroyer Squadron 23. So it doesn't tell exactly what ship he was on, but he was on one of these destroyers.
Yeah, and he'll send me all the history too, I'm sure, unless it's in here somewhere. So this looks like it's going to be the uniform. Maybe the one in the picture. Cut through this like crazy tape that he's got on here. Oh wow, yeah, that's right. He told me there's a flag as well. That's really interesting.
Oh, wow.
Flag from the ship, supposedly. So yeah, we have a U.S. flag. That's really cool. It has a name on there, or a maker. So yeah, it's a 48 star flag. Supposedly from the ship. It's wool. So that's pretty neat. And then this is his uniform. His Navy uniform, which is really cool. And see what else is in here, because something really interesting he told me happened to this ship.
This is really cool because we haven't done a whole lot of Navy stuff on, on the channel.
So according to the story, there was a kamikaze that was shot down, and it says this was from Japanese, abbreviated in this note, pilot shot down in Leyte Gulf, October 1944. So this was pulled off of the pilot, I guess this piece here, and then here's one of those Hawaii bills. I don't understand if the Japanese guy would have had that. I doubt it. It probably means just this, the Japanese writing. But that's one of the Hawaii notes that they printed Hawaii on in case Hawaii was overrun. They could cancel that money. Kind of a cool story. That's all that's in there. And then there's another box here. And I think I know what this is because he told me on the phone. So yeah, another Japanese kamikaze pilot or a plane hit this guy's ship, and this came from that particular. He wanted to keep them separate, so this is a separate Japanese plane, but this one actually hit their ship. And there's some pieces of the plane, which is really interesting. Pieces of a Zero. Wow. Apparently my friend has a dog. Some hair on that. Wow, look at that. Jeez, that's wild. Wow. So yeah, that's a twisted mess, isn't it? And then apparently he had a pack of Japanese cigarettes on him. I was surprised that there'd be much left of them, but maybe they found it in the plane. I don't know.
Wow.
So that's pretty amazing stuff. Now again, this was sent to us for a display, so we will display this in the museum. And whether he's loaning it to us for a while or if he ends up donating it, I'm not exactly sure. He just said, I'm going to send it to you, see how you like it. It will not be sold because this is sent to us for display purposes. So, you know, we're not selling this, obviously. So, interesting group of artifacts. I'm really intrigued by these crash pieces here. Very, very cool.
All right, we shut the camera off for a few minutes and did a little bit of investigation. So the veteran that we are looking at here, his name was Charles Heinstra, and he was on the USS Claxton. So on this presidential unit citation, this is for Destroyer Squadron 23, and it says for extraordinary heroism and action against Japanese forces during the Solomon Islands campaign from November 1st, 1943 to February 23rd of 1944. And then it talks about them boldly penetrating into submarine-infested waters and different things like that. Now, also, we're going to get a little bit closer look, and we don't know what this is because we don't read Japanese. So if anyone out there reads Japanese, well, feel free to let us know what this says and help us out a little bit. But yeah, very, very interesting items from this man who was a quartermaster on the USS Claxton. Okay, now, this package right here, we decided to pre-open. We haven't pulled anything out yet. The guy who packaged this kind of went overboard. So anyway, let's take a look at what we have here. All right, so obviously a couple of German armbands, this one being for the Hitler Youth, and then a selection of World War I Iron Crosses. Eric and I were just talking, and he was telling me that he had about 30 of these in stock, and within the span of about like a week or two, they were all gone. Now, the items that you're looking at right here, these are items that are going to be for sale on the website. This is how this museum stays open for free. So these things are bought with the specific intent of reselling them. They aren't donated, and then those funds are used to maintain, cover operating costs and to further expand the museum. And you look at items like this, and some people might think, well, why would you want a Nazi armband or Nazi this or Nazi that? Well, again, as I've said many times before, the fact that these are here and are not in Germany, well, that's a sign that we won. So American veterans brought these things home as a symbol that they were victorious. So anyway, these are a few examples of things that you can find on the website for sale.
So in this box, we're going to do an unboxing with the Fallschirmjäger knife, and I believe these are items that were brought over by a friend of mine who goes over to Germany to purchase for me. So I think this stuff was actually picked in Germany, if it's the box I'm thinking it is, which looks like it is. Lots of packing material. No styrofoam peanuts or popcorn or whatever you're calling. That's good. Can't stand that stuff. Okay, this is an inventory list. Wow, and that's a lot of workbooks. These things are a little bit easier to find over in Germany. We know people that do house cleanouts. We sell these on the website. These are DAF workbooks. So the Germans got rid of trade unions, and so everything fell under the control of the party. So you paid your union, basically what would have used to be union dues, to the party. And it was another money-making thing that they did. And they would have the person's name, and as long as they're paying their dues, they would put these stamps in here to keep track of it. Kind of interesting. Each one's a little bit different. We usually buy these in bulk over there. Ah, look, somebody covered up their swastika. They were afraid to have that out at the end of the war. Sometimes people use these at the end of the war as some kind of an ID to prove that they weren't maybe in the SS, or when they were starting to round people up and for war crimes. So sometimes you'll see something like that taped over them, and sometimes people who have little shops over in Germany and sell this stuff do that as well, because you can't really have the symbol out in Germany. Here's more of them. Yeah, we bought a bunch of them. We found a little stash of them over there, so more of them. So we'll have these on the website. These might even still be available by the time this video drops, so we'll have to see. A lot of times by the time the video comes out, the stuff's already long gone. And here's some other versions of workbooks. This is another version. This is the Type 2. I hate when they have price tags on them, which these do. So we're not going to show the price tag. This must have been in one of the shops over there. So we'll show this one. Yeah, these are a variation of the workbook, and it would have the person's name in it and stamps where they're working. And this is, like I said, the Type 2. The Type 1 has a smaller eagle on, less of a swastika. These tend to be a little bit more expensive. The eagle's a little bit more interesting. And here's another pack of them as well. The same thing with price tags on them that we will not be looking at. Wow, here's a whole pile of stuff. These are really interesting. I've been getting these lately from a source over there that had gotten into one of the factories that produced U-boats. And they did various parts, and these are actually data plaques, I guess you would say. Each one's a little different, and they would label everything on U-boats and for the various parts in there and in the engine rooms. And these are really cool because, how many of these exist? Not many. I mean, most U-boats went to the bottom of the sea, so these are really interesting. And sometimes there's some real cool ones that say, like, torpedo tubes and things like that. Let's see what this is first. I actually have no idea what this is. I mean, I'm sure I'll remember it once I see it, but that's what's fun about these. unboxings, because we do them for the most part organically. I don't know sometimes what's in here. Oh, so this is interesting. Put this over here. This is a Hitler signed document from 1927 with his signature in ink right there. So that's a great piece. Looks like the signature's 100% real. I just glanced at it, but I can tell. Yeah, that's a good Hitler signature. It's not a secretary, it's in ink. Very, very interesting. Hitler signatures tend to be a popular item on the website. And we're going to get into here and again see some price tags, unfortunately, so I have to be careful. So these are 25-year long service medals. These are really in great shape. I mean, these are mint. So we got a bunch of these in Germany. Again, you can find this stuff in Germany sometimes if you know where to go. Also got some black wound badges. We buy these over there sometimes. What else do we got in here? It's mostly the same stuff. These are a lot of the... Yeah, we got a pile of these things. This one's just covered up swastika. This is a rad female brooch. They would wear them here for the female rad members. Interesting. Got good symbolry on there, and it's maker marked, so we get those sometimes. We get some wound badges, and that looks like all that's in here is just a bunch of them. Yeah, just a bunch of the same. So wound badges, 25-year long service medals, and RAD brooches. So all in the day's work at the Gettysburg Museum of History. The stuff will be available on the website, and check it out, GettysburgMuseumofHistory.com. If you're looking for this kind of material, it's all guaranteed to be authentic. We look at every piece, make sure it's authentic. We issue a certificate of authenticity, which is simply just our money-back guarantee. Some people make fun of certificates of authenticity, but ours are backed with the promise that if there's ever a problem with it, you can send it back. If you can prove that it's not authentic. And you know, we've never really had anything come back, and as long as I've been doing it, for not being authentic, because we do our due diligence. We only buy from certain people, and you know, I check out everything myself. So I take great pride in trying to only offer material that I know is good.
Well, there you go. Those were just a few things that rolled in here today at the Gettysburg Museum of History. Always new stuff that is being added to the collection, always new stuff that's being added to the website. So anyway, glad that we could share a little bit of what's going on here.